Okay guys, we're going to do step one, making the mouth plate. Okay guys, the first thing we got to do is grab our trusty scissors, and we have to grab a plastic lid off of our any container. This happens to be a spinach container, spinach dip container, but it doesn't matter. It could be a yogurt lid or what have you. And the first thing we have to do is cut off the excess. We want the lid to be flat, so the little ridge part, we have to cut that off. Now if you're using two smaller lids, you will have to do this twice, once for each lid, to make them both flat. But in this case, we don't have to do this. And then I like to just cut this little piece so that when I throw it in recycling, it's good. Okay, so this, after you cut it out, this is what you will have. Now, if you fold it in half, which I've done this one already, I've folded it in half. Alright, you'll make a ridge down the middle. Alright, and then you can just fold it the other way. Okay, that's going to be your mouth plate. But because we're making a sock puppet, you don't want your mouth necessarily to be quite as large as that. You want it to be about the width of your sock. So if you take your flattened sock and you put your mouth plate onto the sock, and then you put, you can see where the edge of your sock is. Whatever sticks out, that's what you want to cut off. So I can see that it sticks out there. Now be careful not to cut your sock, because then you're going to have holes in your sock. So I cut out at this, and then I'm going to cut out around to this side, like so. Okay, so now you see you're going to have a mouth plate the size of your sock. Beautiful. So put your sock down, and then you're gonna, where the line is in the middle of your plastic mouth plate, you're going to cut that right down the middle. And what you're gonna have is two halves for your mouth plate. And it's important to do that because if you would have left it as one solid piece, what would happen is it will always keep your puppet's mouth open regardless of what you're doing, and then you'll have to use pressure on your hand to keep it closed, and it adds a pressure. And if you work with your puppets any amount of time, as I do, you will understand that the longer you have to force something open or closed, it's putting pressure on your hand. I dropped that. Okay. All right, so that was part one. Now what we're going to do, we're going to put our two pieces down on the table. We're going to take our felt. I have black felt and I have red felt. Usually what I like to do is line the mouth with red felt and make the uvula, which is the little dangly thing in the back of your throat, out of the black part. So I'm going to take the wrapper off of the red felt, and I'm going to open it up, unroll it, and I'm going to take my two halves and I'm going to place it on the felt, and I'm going to leave a little bit on either side, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to trim it like so. Okay, the next thing we're going to do is we're going to take our hot glue gun and plug it in because we didn't plug it in before. Okay, so that's what we're going to do. Okay guys, so now that we have our hot glue gun ready, what we're going to do is we're going to pick up one of our pieces of our mouth plate and we're going to glue some glue in a little circle right in the middle. And then we're going to take our mouth plate and we're going to put it right back in the center of our felt. Alright, then what we're going to do, and we're going to make sure that we have an inch around the outside, the whole outside. Okay, then we're going to take up our second piece of our mouth plate and we're going to do the exact same thing. We're going to put glue, 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 and then we're going to snug that up right up to the other piece. And you might leave just a little tiny gap, and I'll just show you. So just a little tiny gap, not very big, just so that we can have a place to move our mouth. So as you can see, that will be our mouth. All right, and I'm going to put another glue stick into the glue gun, like so. All right, now what we're going to do is pick up our mouth plate and we're going to trim around the mouth plate, okay, like so. But you're not going to trim it flush. You want to leave a little bit of a lip to glue down. So maybe like a half of an inch or so around. And what you should have is this, so that when you glue it down, you have a bit of a lip to glue down onto your mouth plate. Okay? So now let's put that back down on our table. And before we glue it, where the line is, where the two pieces meet, we want to cut a little bit of a line, not all the way, just to where the plastic is, okay? But you don't want to go any further than that. And that's just going to help you when you glue it down, that you glue the two separate parts, okay? Now move your scissors out of the way. Take your hot glue gun, run a bead of glue around the mouth of around on that little edge, okay? And then you're going to take your finger and you're going to start going around the mouth like so, and you're going to glue down all that edge. So what you'll have is that. Beautiful. And if any sticks up, you can just take your hot glue gun and just put a little glue and it'll fix it up. Then you're going to turn it over. You're going to do the same thing to the other side. You're going to run a bead of glue around the mouth like so. Put your glue gun down and then you're going to take your finger and you're going to go through all the sides and you're going to push it down like so. Beautiful. And now you have a mouth plate for your puppet. All right. So the next step for your mouth plate is the uvula, which is the little part in the back of the throat. And you're going to use some black felt for that. And you don't want it the whole width of your mouth, so you're just going to cut a little square that'll be almost to the edge of your mouth. Alright, so it should be about that big. And what we're going to cut is like a kidney shape. So you're just going to cut a round sort of kidney shape, little circle like that. And then once you have that circle, what you're going to do is you're going to cut very carefully a little circle like this. So what you will end up with is this shape. And that is going to be your uvula. Okay? Now, what you want to do is you want to fold your mouth plate. Get your scissors out of your way. You want to fold your mouth plate up like this. And you want the edge of your uvula, so the little dangly part, that part is going to go right onto the flap. Alright, so when your puppet opens its mouth, you will see that that part is on the top. Alright, so what you're going to do is you're going to, now that you know where it's going to be, you're going to take your glue, you're going to put your hot glue, you're going to cover it up, go around all the edges. Alright. And you want to be kind of quick, but you don't want to burn yourself either. That's the thing. When you're working with the glue gun, you have to be very careful. And then you're going to put it on the edge of your uvula, like so. And now your puppet is going to have a mouth. Yay! And that is how you make a mouth plate. Okay guys, now it's time for step 2, installing the mouth plate. Okay guys, so we got our mouth plate, and now we're going to install our mouth plate into our sock puppet. So we're going to take our sock, and you have two choices. So where the heel is in your sock, you can either have it facing the back of your puppet or facing the front of your puppet. I personally like to face it to the back of my puppet. So if you see, I've put it on, it puts the little bump to the back. And this way the front of my puppet is very smooth. And that's the side people really see the most. So that's how you can decide. And where you want to put the mouth plate, you can sort of decide now where you want to put the mouth plate. So as you can see, you can put it like so, right? Because you're going to put it from the edge and glue it on to your sock like so. And then you're going to have a puppet like this. So what we're going to do is we're going to take off our sock, keeping that mouth plate onto the top of the sock where we've lined it up. We're going to put our sock down on the table so it's nice and flat, like so. Alright. Now what we want to do is where the lip of the sock is, at the toe of the sock there's a little lip. What you want to do is you want to just fold that just ever so slightly down so that all that is going to be covered, right? You want to fold it down like this so it's going to be covered by your mouth plate, so it'll be nice and smooth when you put it on your hand. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your glue gun, and on the rough side where the plastic is, you're gonna take some glue, run it around the bead of your mouth, like so, and then cover it really heavy on the glue. Alright? And put your glue gun down. And the side where the uvula is on, you want to stick that down to the edge of your sock, like so. Alright? So basically, the bottom of the little dangly part is facing down, and the rest of your uvula is facing up. And then you just want to push your sock into the glue, making sure everything is glued, like so. And you'll still have this flappy part. So now what you want to do is you want to fold the flap up from the bottom flap, and you want to take your glue gun and you want to go around the edge with your hot glue, put a bead of glue, and then put a whole bunch of hot glue around. Do not get it on your finger because it is hot. It is going to burn. And then when you let your finger go, you can push your mouth plate flat onto the puppet, like so. And what you're going to have is this. Alright? And then if you take your hand and put it into your sock puppet, what you will have is a mouth. And let me just put the camera up. Oh, hey everybody! I got a mouth, so I can talk to you now. So that's how you put a mouth in a sock puppet. I like it. Alright guys, so basically that's how you install the mouth of a sock puppet. And if you have some parts that didn't stick down quite nicely, what you can do is go back to your table, your art table, and you can just gently and carefully put glue on the parts that didn't stick down. And then just lie it flat and stick it down. And then that, just count for a few Mississippis. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippis. You know, maybe 5 Mississippis. And then it'll be stuck on nicer. And then anywhere that the glue came up a little bit, you can just add a little bit of glue and do the same thing. 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi. And you just keep going around, looking for any of the little edges that didn't get glued down all the way. Just push them flat. Always being careful not to burn yourself with the hot glue. Hot glue guns can burn you. Hot glue burns. And severe burns. So it's not something to joke around with. I have been burned multiple times, and I do recommend that you be safe. And then you go in and just check him again, make sure that his lips are, you can check them and make sure his lips are smooth. As you see, they're more smooth now. And anywhere that's still a little bit not smooth, you can of course still go in with your glue gun and just add a little couple dabs of glue. Until it becomes completely smooth. Alright, and now you have a sock puppet with a mouth. But we need eyes. So now we'll go on to the next step. Okay guys, so once you've decided what kind of eyes you're going to use, in this case styrofoam eyes, what you're going to do is you're going to put your eyes aside where you can access them. You're going to take your puppet and you're going to lie him flat on the table, close his mouth, and put the top of his head facing upwards. Then you're going to take your glue gun and you're going to put a dab of glue on your puppet where you want the eyes to be, and you want them to face forward. And if you notice on most styrofoam balls, there's a little line. You want the line to be on the side of the head, not facing forward, because it'll help it to hide it a little bit. If you put it facing forward, it's going to look like your puppet's eye has a line right through the top. So then just adjust that where you want it and wait a few minutes just to let that set in. The hot glue is going to melt your styrofoam balls onto your puppet. So next you're going to take another dab of glue next to the first dab of glue. You're going to take your styrofoam ball eye, line the ball up to the side, put it into the glue, and you're going to hold it down. And 1 Mississippi, 2 Mississippi, 3 Mississippi, 4 Mississippi, 5 Mississippi, 6 Mississippi. And you want to make sure that they are really solidly on there. Alright. And once they are, you can take your glue gun and right in the center of the ball, right in between the two balls, you can separate them gently with your finger, put a dab of glue, and push them together. Alright. Ooh, see, that's hot. Danger. Warning. We have hot glue. Warning, hot glue is hot. Okay. Once you can tell your eyes have hardened up, you can put your hand into your sock puppet. Oh, see, they weren't quite hard. They weren't quite hard enough yet. See how they separated? So just push them back together and make sure you got to hold them until the glue dries. And the thing about hot glue is the hotter it gets, the longer it takes to dry. The colder it is, the easier it is to dry. Okay? So, now you can see you have eyes on your puppet.
Hey, how you doing, man? Like, I see you, I got eyes, but I can't quite see you.
So the next step in putting the eyes on is making the pupils for the eyes. So, you want to see, man?
Yeah, I want to see what I'm doing.
All right. So, we'll put them down on the table, and I'll just adjust the camera. All right. So now we're going to take our black felt again that we made our uvula with. We're going to take our scissors. And I have a little smaller scissors. If you don't have smaller scissors, that's okay. You're going to cut a little piece of your felt into a rectangle shape. And then you're going to fold the rectangle shape in half. And then you're going to give it a cut down the middle. So now you have 2 squares. And basically, you want to hold them together and cut 2 circles. And those circles are going to be the pupils of our sock puppets. Okay? And then when you separate them apart, you'll have two pupils. And if you hold them together on your sock puppet, you can just hold them on there. You can see he's got pupils. All right. So to attach those, you want to take your glue gun, and of course we need a glue stick. If you're running out of glue, always insert a glue stick. Take your glue, put it on one side of your felt. Be very careful not to get it on your fingers. And put it right in the center of your styrofoam eye, and then gently with your finger push it in very gently, okay, like so. And then you can take your other eye and adjust it. Maybe you want them to be cross-eyed, maybe you want them to be looking up or down. You can put your pupils wherever, however, but the most common way to put the eyes on a puppet is sort of straight forward in the center, so that it looks like it's looking directly at you. So take your second pupil, put hot glue on it, and then center it in the center so that it's looking straight at you. And then you can push it on gently. And now, if you see, hello, if you see, your puppet is now a puppet. He has eyes and a mouth. Oh, I see you. So he's looking pretty good now. Now he's got eyes, and so now he's ready to sing. When I was a little boy, I was a little sock, and I love to make a puppet. I make a lot. So these are the sock puppets, and that's pretty simple. And then if you want to add more things to him, from there you can add other things to him, like hair. If you have wool, you can make hair for him. Or if you have fun fur, you can make fun fur hair for him. Ooh. Now, fun fur is a little expensive to buy it, and it's a little hard to come by. You have to often order it on Amazon, or however you order it online. So the one way I like to make hair is with wool. So for this guy, we will make a wool wig. And what you're going to do is you're going to take your wool and you're going to wrap it around your hand like this. And if you actually, better yet, do I have a template? Maybe I have a template. So if you have a piece of cardboard, this is better than using your hand, because it'll be more precise. If you have a piece of cardboard, you can measure the width to the length you want your hair, and then you can wrap the wool around it. Like so. And you can judge how much hair you want to have on your puppet. If you want quite a lot of hair, or just a little bit, you can just go based on that. I want a fair amount on my puppet, so I'm going to give him a fair amount of hair. So I'm going to keep wrapping. Okay, so when I feel I've got enough, then I give it a bit of a cut, and I will put that hair down in the bottom of my wool, and then I will slide it off of the cardboard, and you'll have this. Okay, now I'll put my cardboard off to the side, and then I'm going to go back to my table. Okay, now you can do one of two things. If you do not have a sewing machine, which I'm sure a lot of people do not have a sewing machine, what you can do is you can take a piece of wool and you can place it under the center, and you can tie it in the middle, well, like so. Tie it really tight. Then you can wrap it around a couple of times, pull it tight, and then tie it again, and then maybe go one more time, wrap it around, and then tie it tight. And now this is going to be your wig or your hair for your puppet. Now all those little loops, you have to take your scissors, go into the loops, and cut the little loops. And just pull the scissors to the end till it's tight and cut. Pull them to the end and cut. Pull them to the end and cut. And make sure you get all the little loops. Okay, and as you can see, it's already starting to look like hair compared to the other side. See all the loops? And then you can flip it over and do the other side. Trim all the little loops. Okay, make sure you cut all the little hairs, cut all the little loops. And then any that are a little longer, that you don't want sticking out, you can just trim them off like that. And there's your little wig. And now you can glue it onto your puppet, and your puppet's going to have hair. So you can glue it on top of the eyes, and he'll look like that, or you can glue it onto the sock, and he'll look like that. So there's different ways you can glue it. I'm going to glue it right on, just a little off to the top of my sock puppet. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to take my glue gun, and I'm going to add a dab of glue there and a dab of glue there. All right, and then I'm going to take my wig, I'm going to give it a little bit of a shake, and then I'm going to stick it into the hair, stick it into the glue, stick the hair into the glue. And I'm going to gently push down, and I'm going to be very careful because I don't want the glue to come through my hair and stick onto my fingers. And it is hot. And now that we've gotten to this step of our puppet, the glue is getting really, really hot. And it will burn you. And I don't want anybody getting burned. And if you are a younger person watching this show, then or this tutorial, please ask mom and dad or somebody, a babysitter or grandma and grandpa, to somebody who's older to do this step for you. So then, now our puppet has hair. So now you can put your hand into your sock puppet, and we'll just come back up here. There we are. Oh, hey, how you guys doing? So now I got hair, I'm styling, I got eyes and a mouth. I'm ready to go. So we can have a good time now. Yeah. Very good. So that's it, guys. That's a very easy, simple, fun sock puppet that you can make, and you can make as many as you want, and you can make them with different color hair. You can put a different colored mouth if you want. You can add little accessories later, but just for now, to learn how to make them, that's basically how to make a sock puppet. And what I recommend, socks come in pairs. So if you have an extra sock, make one for your friend too. If you have a friend and he doesn't have a sock puppet, then you can make him a sock puppet. They make a great gift for your birthday or for any occasion, and then you can sing along together. You can do Zoom stuff on Zoom and sing along. You can record it on your phone. All kinds of things you can do. So yeah, I hope you like this, guys. It's a very simple sock puppet, but yeah, lots of fun, and they're so much fun, and they make a great gift. So I hope you enjoy it, and that's it for now.
Oh, hey, Jody.
Yeah, buddy.
You know you didn't give me a nose, right? You finished a video and you didn't give me a nose? How can I smell things without a nose?
You want a nose?
Yeah, I want a nose.
Okay, well then I'm going to show them how to give you a nose.
Okay,
But I have to take you off.
okay.
So take off your sock puppet. And we'll go back to the table. Boop-a-doo. There's the table. Okay, so take your little friend, your sock puppet. Let's make sure you guys get a good view. And I found this cute little yellow pom-pom that I had for this guy. And I think that will make an adorable little nose for him. So, what we're going to do is very similar to putting on the styrofoam eyes. You're going to take a dab of glue, put it right at the tip of the nose. And then you're going to take your pom-pom and you're going to put it on. And you can use any color pom-pom. You can match with the hair. You don't have to match the hair. You know, whatever you want to do. And then you just glue it down. You wait a couple of seconds. And we'll go back up to the screen.
Ta-da! Now I can see you guys. I can smell you guys. It's so cool.
Are you finished now?
Yeah, I'm finished now.
Are you positive?
Yep, I'm happy with it now.
Okay, dude. Well, what do you tell everybody?
Okay, well, I'll smell you later. Okay, bye now.
Thank you for watching. This has been a Laugh Out Loud Puppets production.